Hello there. Welcome back to our painting of Belisarius Cawl. I'll get it right someday. Last time we finished by washing the metal plates with some black. Unfortunately, some of it spilled over onto the robes here, so we're just going to start by cleaning that up a bit. And may as well do a full highlight of the robes while we're at it, just because I find it a little bit dark. Okay, and now the robes have this parchment colored sleeve bit. And we are also going to start on the Mechanicus symbols. We're going to start those with a bone color as well. We're eventually going to move up to almost white on them. And then we're going to split them black. So you start with your bright color, and then once your bright color is in, you can come and mask it off, and then paint your dark color quite easily. You don't want to go from black and then try to bring it up to white, because you're going to need multiple coats for the white, and you're going to lose control of the paint, and then your division is going to come out sloppy looking. And we're moving towards doing the highlights on the metallics, but before we do that, because this is going to be messy for that, I want to work on his something super duper laser gun, and it has power coming from inside this barrel and along these. So paint that in before you even try to do your final highlight on the metals, or else you're going to mess them up. And you can easily paint over anything you slop with metal. And then choose one of these hoses. I think I'm going to choose this one to be the gas supply, and we're going to paint that in the same way that we did this. And at the same time, we'll choose a couple of other pipes around him to do in the same color. I'm going to choose this one. And then up the arm. And then let's see what we've got on him. I'm going to choose this one. I'm going to try to avoid the yellow caution strips because I've never been able to get them done before. I might do a test on something just to see if I can get it. But I don't really want to do it on a model that is going to be a super finished model. Because if something that I've learned, unfortunately, to my own disadvantage, is that experimenting is all well and good, but unfortunately experiments don't always go well, especially on your finished work. I've run into that very many times. I'm not saying don't experiment with your painting and your modeling. Definitely do. That's how you improve. But if you're in a situation where you're not sure how to do something and you want to incorporate it into one of your more studio-based, your more finished pieces, you should definitely experiment on something that you don't really care about. Like, I have a whole pile of Tyranids that were donated to me and that I do most of my experimenting on now, or will, rather. I still haven't learned that, because I always want to experiment, and sometimes people look at it and they go, pfft. And my source of income is selling these models and these board games that I paint up, and sometimes you do an experiment and you can end up stuck with it for a very long time. I painted up Massive Darkness to be ready for Christmas, hoping that it would sell during the holidays. I did an experiment with an oil wash. I liked the results, but a lot of people didn't. And unfortunately, it's now the end of March, and I'm still holding on to that box. I keep having to reduce the price, and nobody wants it. So if I want to actually recuperate that money I put into it, I'm going to have to either repaint it or sell it for a lot less. And I'm pretty busy with other projects right now. I've got this guy to do, I've got World of Smog to paint, I've got a model coming, a larger resin model that I want to experiment with. So I don't really have time to paint upwards of 200 miniatures, but the money would be nice. And unfortunately, we all want to say we don't work for the money. And I don't want to say that I do, but I can't do what I do without it, unfortunately. If I could do this for free, I would, because I enjoy doing it. But if I did, I'd be able to afford a model a year, maybe, and not a big one. So for the metallics, I'm going to use my trusty silver paint pen. And I'm just going to very, very, very gently highlight and touch up areas where it should be silver in the first place that aren't. And just very gently now into those deep, big flat recesses. Okay, so now it's time to highlight the gold. We're going to do this with a gold paint pen. You can get very accurate with where you want your color to go, just like that. Okay, and with that gold done, he is almost finished. We need to do what is left of his skin, this book, and finish off the Mechanicum symbols. Stick them together, do his base, and he's pretty much done. Okay, so first thing, we are going to do the flesh. It's going to be kind of a greenish, because he's not really fresh under that robe. So we're ready to do the Mechanicum symbol. I had to look up which way it went, so it's left side of the skull is black, and then the right side of the cog around it is black. So we're just going to be very, very careful. Try to get this all in camera. Make sure we have a good point. Double check the focus. We're not focused. Zoom a little bit. Okay, that's about as good as we're going to get for now. Very, very gently. Okay, sorry I couldn't get that on camera. I had to be very delicate and bring it very close to my face. So we got the black in. Now it looks kind of sloppy, but I have an idea to clean that up just a little bit. So I will now use the Wargamer's secret weapon, the weathering effect. So just get yourself a little silver, on your brush and do a very light dry brush over the whole thing. Wipe as much as you can off with your thumb. And then it looks more blended and not as obvious to the mistakes. Okay, so we're starting to paint the base. I just squirted some of this red terracotta right onto it. Hopefully it's enough to spread. So we've got the base to this nice terracotta. It took 2 coats and a hairdryer to get there. So now we are going to grab some orange. Put the orange in the palette instead of directly on. There we go, nice thick glob. I'm just going to dry brush this all over. A heavy dry brush though. It's going to take a couple of these actually. To get to where I want. Give that a couple seconds. And then do another one. There we go, that's about as aggressive as I want to get. I'm just going to brighten that up quite a bit. Now we are going to have to let. And finally, we're just going to do a light brushing with some ivory or some bone color. Very, very lightly, one way. On the other, right like that. And now we're going to paint the rim, stick them on, and then we're going to rate them. Okay, so there he is. He's stuck to his base, the rim is painted, everything's glued on, the super glue is still drying just a little bit, but it's fine. Now it's time to rate him. So I believe he is also. So the scale, in case you missed last time, is bronze, silver, or gold. Wherever, yeah, there we go, in the camera. Okay, so, and then we sign the bottom with what we think it's rated as. Now again, this is still in the first batch of models I did behind the camera. So, a couple compromises, a little rushing, focusing on looking at the camera most of the time, just getting everything in frame. So, yeah, this is going to be a bronze, which isn't bad, but it isn't anything fantastic either. So let's sign. Dragon scale. B-I-E is N J D G. Okay, so we're going to put this guy on the turntable and get some better shots of him.